I'm challenging Evan to do 30 push-ups in 10 seconds. Good luck.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Welcome everybody to this next Ignited Online. I'm so excited you guys are tuning in to this video. I hope you guys tuned into the last video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed that last one. I know I definitely did, and I know you guys are going to enjoy this next video. And if you watched the last one, you kind of got to see a theme that we had going in that last video. It was Palm Sunday. And we're going to continue that theme a little bit with this video, talking about Holy Week and the things leading up from Palm Sunday to the crucifixion of Jesus. But we're going to look at it from a unique perspective that I think is very practical to the times that we're living in. And we're going to look at it from this perspective of this wasn't how it was supposed to be. This wasn't what it was supposed to look like. And so we're going to kind of take 3 different stories of Holy Week, and we're all going to take a segment and see what is come at it from this angle of this isn't what it was supposed to look like. And I was just thinking about what we know in this time, which isn't much, but I know this, that this is not how I pictured my Easter season to be. You know, if you guys are like me, you have a lot of family traditions during Easter that you're not going to be able to do, unfortunately. You know, one of my family's Easter traditions that we still can kind of do is we all would dress up and come to church on Easter Sunday, all as a family. And, you know, maybe we can't come to church, but we can all still watch together online. We can dress up in the family room, watch it on the TV. And so I encourage you guys to still do that as a family as well. But one of the other things that we would love to do at Easter time is with all of my aunts, some uncles, cousins, the whole extended family, we would just eat a ton of food. You know, one of our favorite Easter foods is pierogies. We just see who could eat as many pierogies as possible. We had lots of fun family traditions like that we're not going to be able to do this year. But you know, one of the things that I think is critical in this moment is to realize that life is not only about the things that happen to you, but it's about how you respond to those things. You know, I think there's a lot of responses that people are having to this coronavirus and to the idea that this Easter season is going to look a little bit different for them. And a couple of the responses that I've just seen in people is we have people complaining. There's the complainer. They're just complaining about everything. There's people who are they're just pretending. They're just the pretender. Well, I'm just going to pretend like my life is good, even though it's not. And then there's the person that takes action. And there's the lazy person. Those are the 4 biggest responses I've seen. So I want to ask you, which one are you? How are you responding to this whole new season? And I was thinking about how Jesus responded. Jesus actually had lots of moments in his life where he walked into a situation and it wasn't what it was supposed to look like. And it makes me think of Matthew 21:12, where Jesus walks into the temple and what is supposed to be the house of worship where he worships the Father, worships God. Instead, it has been turned into a den of thieves. And it wasn't supposed to look like this. But what does Jesus do? He could have walked in and pretended like everything was all good. He could have walked in and just been lazy, like to do something about this would take too much time and effort. He could have turned to his disciples and complained, but instead what Jesus did was he decided to take action. He got up and he drove out the thieves. He drove out the money changers. He was flipping over tables, letting the animals free. And so my question to you is, what are you going to do in this moment? How are you going to respond to this new season? What action steps are you going to take? And maybe you can't, like Jesus, go and start flipping over tables. I don't suggest doing that on Easter Sunday, but what I am suggesting is maybe there is something that you can do that you haven't done in this season yet to encourage somebody else. Maybe you can reach out to that family member who's going to be alone on Easter and give them a phone call. Make sure that they're not alone. Maybe you can deliver some food to somebody who you know isn't going to be able to have enough money to provide for their family an Easter dinner. Maybe you can drop off some food for them. Maybe you can get some Easter eggs and just spread them out in somebody's yard so their kids can have an Easter egg hunt. I don't know what action steps you can take in this moment, but I guarantee you there is something that you can do. You do not have to sit by and be lazy. You do not have to complain or pretend that everything is all good. You can take action. And even though this season isn't how it was supposed to look like, this wasn't how I pictured it, you still get to choose how you respond. You still get to choose how are you going to respond to this moment. And so I encourage you to respond with action.
Evan, I challenge you to make a really great Easter sign for your yard.
In this theme of it's not supposed to be this way, I wrote a poem about when Jesus curses the fig tree that should have been bearing fruit. In the morning you saw a tree, beautiful and full of leaves. You were hungry, so you stopped to see what kind of fruit there would be. The tree was in full bloom, covered with health and life. Surely there would be fruit that was ready and ripe. But when you came near, there was no fruit to be seen, just a healthy tall tree with plenty of leaves. You cursed the tree, and it withers away. Once full of life, it is now dead in the pathway. But why does this matter? Why should I care about a tree with branches that are beautiful but bare? Could it be that this tree reflects my soul, that beauty and perfection can't be my only goal? The fruitless tree is what I'll be if I insist to live my life according to what I see. There will be nothing left to give. If I look and sound like a Christian, but do it for my gain, all the praise and songs I sing are going to be in vain. No fruit can grow from a selfish place. I have to remind myself. If I am to serve the Lord, I have to put me on a shelf. It doesn't matter what my life looks to those that are around me. All that matters is that my life brings glory to my King. Only then will Jesus see my branches no longer bare, but full of life and bursting with fruit, fruit that is ready to share.
Evan, I challenge you to move the rock wall 2 inches. Good luck.
It wasn't supposed to be this way. You heard this amazing theme from Aaron and Leanna's message. But I want to come at you with Luke 22. This scenario is a setup with the disciples, Jesus, and the Last Supper. This situation, the disciples thought that Jesus was going to reign, that they were going to be elevated, and that all things were just going to be great. But they found out quickly it wasn't supposed to be this way. During the Last Supper, Jesus showed them what was about to happen, that he was going to bleed and be broken. He was going to be the greatest servant of all. He displayed the greatest act of love of all. And in this, the disciples still missed it, because during the Last Supper, they started to argue and bicker about who was greatest, who deserved position, who deserved authority. Jesus, recognizing this, says, guess what? The greatest leader, the one that will be elevated, will actually become the one who elevates everyone first. Servanthood. Jesus wanted to give them this last piece of advice about servanthood. They didn't think it was supposed to be this way. But he said, guess what? If you truly want to be elevated, you need to elevate everyone else. You need to find ways to serve. You need to put yourself at the back of the line and let everybody else go forward and first. During this season, much like Aaron said, you probably didn't think it was supposed to be this way during Holy Week, during Easter. You thought you're going to eat a bunch of great food, go see family, enjoy hopefully the sun, but it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to be. But the one thing that we can do is serve. Be a servant. Elevate everyone else in your realm of influence. Display the greatest act of love, true servanthood, during this Easter season. Don't miss it. Don't miss this opportunity to serve. Be like Jesus and elevate those around you. May this be one of the most special Easters that you will have ever had before. Elevate everyone else. Love like Jesus. Serve like Jesus. Become the greatest leader that He wanted to make you to become.
I challenge Evan to try to put a t-shirt on while doing a handstand. Good luck.
Man, this self-quarantine life, I didn't think it would be like this.